Hey, Mr. Something Else. How are you? Toy Pups, how are you? Guys, I don't think our... Hey, Mr. Something Else. How are you? Sorry. I don't think we're going to have our guest today. I'm going to change it because I don't want anyone coming in um, expecting Paul to be here. Now, Paul might surprise me. He was supposed to be on Sunday. We've been having difficulty connecting technically. And then this week, I haven't been able to get a hold of him. So I hope all is well with him. We'll make it sometime for sure. Hey, Lee. However, tonight, Deanna Fusen, and I believe she's going to bring Julie Burst. Julie was on last Saturday. I believe she's going to bring Julie with her. We're supposed to talk tonight. Now, I haven't heard back from either one of them yet. So things are in flux. Sometimes that's how life is. You got to accept it as it comes. Hey, Kat. So what I want to do is take out Paul's name because, again, I don't want people showing up. And then if Paul does show up, I don't think he will, but I'll just add his name back in. See how simple it is? It's good to have a plan, guys. It's good to have a plan. But it's okay. We had a great guest yesterday. I heard light language for the first time. And this was our first time that we had a channeler come up who channeled here. Lee, how are you? Guy says, thank you for being here, Mr. Something Else. Yes, I agree. Thank you for being here, Mr. Something Else. Anyway, we can continue on the theme, even if Paul is unable to make it. And the theme was the end of self-improvement, the end of the self-improvement trap, and sobriety and A Course in Miracles. Cat says how to sniper. Cat says it's wrong. I heard it so much. Not a big deal. Oh, the channeling? Nope, not wrong at all. It's actually pretty cool. So where do you want to start with? Oh, you've heard the light language before? Actually, you know what? This is the second time we've heard the light language as who was it? My friend Elise's friend, Nanette. She came up and she did the light language as well. She did the light language as a meditation. Hey, Anna. How are you? Kat said you love it though. It's interesting. And I hope you had a good morning. So I got people lined up for the weekend. I got people lined up for next week. The shaman sounded like she had some in there too. I believe she did, for sure. So Course in Miracles is often found, people often discover it. I suspect, but I don't know for certain, that Paul Hedderman came across Course in Miracles in meetings, 12 steps, AA. Hey, Lady Sky. Anna says, yes, thank you, Yogi. How have you been today? I've been good. I've been really good. I saw a fox this morning. I saw possibly 3 foxes or 1 fox 3 times. I suspect it was 2 foxes, though. I believe our friend Diona, who's coming up this evening, I think, she came across, if I recall our first conversation, she came across A Course in Miracles. Hey, Tom, Hare Krishna, through what the 12 steps as well. You don't want to say, I'm always tempted to say that A Course in Miracles seems to be the logical progression of 12 steps. What do you do after you've hit those 12 steps? Do you keep repeating them? I don't know. I never rightly followed the 12 steps in my own recovery. I was gifted with recovery. It did not aim for it. It did not shoot for it. It was just given to me. Kat says, Yoga, you need a person who can verify a little bit ahead of time for your talks. I do. I need a person. That's what I need. You and I figured that out, Kat. Latest guest says no guests. Yogi, that guest still having technical problems. I don't know if it was technical problems or if we got something haywire. And by we, I mean me. 1 second. But it might be technical problems too. Lee says, Lady Sky, how did the Valentine streak go down for the children of the church? Great question, Lee. Kat says, hi, Tom. Anna says, I watched your morning live stream, Yogi. How'd it go? Any questions on lesson? Today was 44, right? Hey, Todd. Lady Sky says it went greatly, and okay, Yogi. Todd, how are you? Tom says, word of wisdom, don't do 200 plus squats unless you want your legs to not work for days. Yeah, I suspect they'll. How did you do the squats? What'd you do? We're talking about like just a set or lots and lots of sets. He says, Lady Sky, very sweet and nice idea. I liked it. Tom says 2 days. 2 days. Yeah, that'll do it. I did a lot of squats yesterday, not a lot of sets. Now, my legs got a lot of work with the kettlebells. I'm doing kettlebell sport, which is double kettlebell jerk, double kettlebell clean and jerk, and one arm kettlebell snatches. So it's very leg orientated anyway. Leg overhead. You got to use the legs to get it overhead. You got to support it once it's overhead. No pressing, although I do presses and do dips. So I've been doing light squats, shooting usually for anywhere from 20 to 30 reps. Yesterday, I only did 75 pounds. I did 61 reps nonstop. It was about a 3.5 minute set it took me. Kat says, I'm going to start writing down my future job duties, Yogi. It's an easy checklist. Look pretty. Check. Hey, Ray. Ray, how are you? And it says lesson 44. And speaking of checks, check. Tom says 100 straight body weight squats twice, then pushed out 10 more, but I should have stopped 110 prior. Gotcha. Doing any burpees, Tom? You doing mostly body weight stuff? 1 day till Valentine's Day, Yogi. Yep. Hey, Coastal Bloom, how are you? Kat says, one job consult with Yogi. How would he like his books arranged? just the way they are. Perfectly done, perfectly in order. I can tell you what every book is and where every book is. Guys, thanks for coming in. Much appreciated. This guy says candy plus kids equals the sugar rush. That'll do it. How the kids handle the sugar rush? How do the adults handle the kids handling the sugar rush? I saw that, cat. I saw that. Cat trying to call me out and then instantly says message retracted. Todd says, Anna, hope you're doing good. Tom says, yeah, I do burpees a couple times a week. I do both body weight and lightweight workouts. Not too interested in going and bulking. No, I guess that would be especially, I don't want to say at 45 as if it's old. It isn't. But 45 with making a comeback, I would think that extra bulk would just be a hindrance. That just enough muscle, get the job done, and a lot of endurance, or a lot of agility. And to be resilient would be really important. All right, Kat says, don't lie because you're in front of your friends, Yogi. You told me I could. He did tell you could. You really think they needs it, though? Look at it all. Just waiting to be pulled down and read again. And it says, yes, I am. Thank you, Todd. Hope you're doing good, too. Tom said exactly. Lee says, Yogi, do you still do the early morning walks? Yep. And then we started the beavers again. The pond has been frozen over for, it feels like about 2 months. So the beavers are deep in their dens. They don't hibernate, but when they need to preserve energy anyway. So when they're not, when they don't have to in the winter, just lay low. They got food stored up. Take it easy. Probably got cable TV. Sitting around watching reruns of Laverne and Shirley. Beavers like the classics. But hey, I did see some fox this morning, Lee. As I was saying, I saw either 3 foxes or 1 fox 3 times, but I think it was probably 2 different foxes. Cat's laughing. Tom says, watching YouTube lives. They could be watching right now saying, hey, there's that guy. We know him. Todd says, been doing good, Anna. Just 2 seconds guessing all my life decisions at this point today. Thinking, I guess. So what are you thinking about your life decisions, Todd? You want to talk about it? So, the title that we were going to talk about with Paul, The End of Self-Improvement. Hey, Toy Pups. The End of Self-Improvement. It doesn't sound real positive, does it? Doesn't sound like something, a title for a channel, a live stream of someone who wants to help people, right? You think that we'd be talking quite a bit about self-improvement. The self that you want to improve, the self that you think you are, doesn't exist. And the endlessness of trying to make that self better can literally drive us crazy. Always improving something that doesn't really exist means you're always seeking, always chasing, always hitting this point, and then immediately going, I got to get this point, and then this point, and then this point. At 60, I'll be 61 in 2 months. Chasing reps, chasing bigger biceps, PRs. Here's a good thing about turning 60. Everything is a reset. Now I have over 60 PRs. But I'm not chasing things anymore. Even trying to make my channel what I want it to be, and even trying to turn it into a viable teaching career of offering the stuff that I love, the things that I've always wanted to be able to reach out to people and teach. Even having that It's less of a goal and more of a purpose. This is the difference between the Sanskrit word dharma, which literally means sort of purpose, our life purpose, our life function. In Buddhist circles, it actually means teaching, but it's the same thing. Now says, oh, just what to do next is all trying hard to start my own small garage with my son. Nice, Todd. Cat says, I'm thinking of making my own YouTube button to hang on my wall. What's a YouTube button? And it says, wishing all the best to you and Todd. Hey, Tiny. Tiny, how are you? Tiny says, hi, friends, and hi, Yogi. Now, you can end that self-improvement trap and still do all the things that you're doing. But now there's no pressure. Now it's more spontaneous and it's filled with love. You're not chasing, you're not pursuing. And it's not about an imaginary achievement for an imaginary self. It is about the enjoyment of simply doing what you do. No preconceived notions, no has to be this way, or I will be disappointed, or I will be sad. It is what it is, as the saying goes. Kat says, you got a YouTube button to hang on your wall when you're very famous? I don't know if I knew that. Well, I want a button. Happy Friday to you, Tiny. Kat says, I'm going to make my own for small creators. Just starting, YouTube button, that is. Oh, cool. I like that, Kat. Kat says, Yogi, do you make plans for the year? If so, do you know when to shift the other way in your decision? I don't make plans like that. I don't make resolutions anymore. I used to. When I first started ultra running, I had 24 weeks of my training plan, how I was going to do it to hit this race. And then, of course, if you get to the race, you put all this training in and things don't go well, you're left disappointed. My first 100-mile race that I attempted, I had to tap out at mile 66. I tried to be so pure, and I went out too fast. By pure, I mean I was eating only fruit. I was sticking to that 100% plant-based vegan, which I always am. But by plant-based, I wouldn't even eat like pretzels or anything that wasn't, whole food, which limits your options when you are running in a race. So I basically had fruit, which isn't bad. I've done that before and I've done well. Tom says 66 is so gangster. So yeah, and this was, I think it was 48 when I first attempted my first 100-mile race. But tapping out at 66 and walking back, I felt heartbroken. All that training I put in. And all the expectations. People were saying that, I was going to tear up my age group, that I was going to do a sub 24, maybe 19 hours, that I was such a strong runner. All of that was true. But I went out way too fast. I didn't properly fuel. I ended up dehydrated. I had stomach issues that caused me lots of problems. And as I was walking back to the aid station where I was going to get a ride to get to my car, fully disappointed. I was a complete failure. I let everyone down. I let myself down. I let my training down. I started thinking that, 66 miles was 16 miles further than I'd ever covered before. The most I'd done at that point was a bunch of 50-mile races and a whole lot of 50Ks. And I started thinking about all the beautiful training miles that I had done. Running mostly by myself, but some great runs with friends. I did training races leading up to this that I really enjoyed. And I started thinking about the race itself. One, again, 16 miles more than I'd ever done before. pretty big. And I ran, it was on the C&O Canal. I had Appalachian Mountains, Allegheny Mountains right next to me. I had the canal right below the mountains. I had the Shenandoah River on the other side of me. I saw beavers, otters, deer. I missed the bear, but it was up ahead of me. There was the excitement of that. Saw snakes. I saw a ton of turtles, ospreys, ravens. I think we saw an eagle. What a great day, man. What a great day. What did I have to be disappointed about? Except for the fact that I set those plans of self-improvement. I was going to be a better runner this day than I'd ever been before. And when it didn't come to fruition, that disappointment, luckily I had that realization that it wasn't about that end result in the Bhagavad Gita. Tom can quote this much better than me. You are entitled to your actions, but not the fruit of your actions. What mattered was the training. What mattered was the race. What mattered were the miles and the people and nature, footsteps. What didn't matter was 66 or 100, an arbitrary number, an absolutely arbitrary number. If I set out to do a 66-mile race, it would have been perfect, right? But because we set a number. Imagine if you have a goal on YouTube, doesn't quite hit it, but you spend countless hours talking. I'm going to use myself as an example, talking to amazing guests, earning an income as much as maybe I wanted. I'm hoping, but maybe not. I don't know. I have no way of knowing. What I do know is I get amazing guests to come up and I have conversations and I learn something every time. And I hope that it can be presented in a way that it helps other people. And then I get to come here like days like this and have a conversation with you guys, just us hanging out. Pretty awesome. Tom says running has never been attractive to me. I do it, but it's never over if there's things I enjoyed. Gotcha. That's the way I was for a long time. I ran for conditioning. I ran to get in shape for something. But I never, not often did I go out, at least for something long. I'm going to go out for a 20-mile run. It did not sound fun until it became fun. Tom said no to it. Thanks, Tom. Todd says, hey, thanks, Yogi. I know now that I should look at my plans differently. That's a good way to look at it. I've done tons of work so far. I know I will get it done. There isn't any problem. Just keep at it. Absolutely. And enjoy the fact that you're doing it. Lady Sky saying hi to everyone. Anna says, how are you, Lady Sky? Todd says, I enjoyed hearing that, Yogi. Thanks, Todd. I appreciate that. Hey, Coffee Cake. Coffee Cake, how are you? Todd says, I'm good. Thanks for asking, G Lady. Tiny K says, love y'all. We love you too, Tiny. So, on the surface of it, there's nothing wrong with self-improvement, right? As long as you are not tied into the end results. No one can restrain the pen. This guy says, no pen wagon. Hey, Carl. Carl says, where's Kat? She's here. She's hanging out. Coffee Cake says, doing okay. Thanks, and you? Doing good, Coffee Cake. Anna says, hi to Carl. Carl, how are you today? It was snowing for you, right? Is it still snowing? We're going to get rain, I think, Sunday, but it's going to be in the 50s for at least a week. This guy says, I got my eyes in you, no pen wagging. You know there's going to be pen wagging. Todd says, your small advice I get from this is very helpful. And everyone here is always so nice. You've made something amazing here, Yogi. Thank you, Todd. I think the right people have showed up, and that's what made it amazing. Gotten pretty lucky. Carl says I put all pens in the bin, but then I can never find them when I do that. What's up, Evan? And this guy says, drop the pen, Yogi. You know, eventually I will drop it. You see it all the time. I wag it so often, frequently. I wag it right out of my hands. Anna says hi to Evan. Evan, how are you? What's the snow situation up in Canada? Evan says, have you been in a casino before? I have been in a casino before. I went there, I forget what birthday. It was maybe 8 years ago. And I went with $20. And I said, this is it. I'm going to gamble 20 bucks, slot machines. I don't know how to play anything else. I know I know blackjack, the objective, but how to play it where I might be successful at it, don't know. Slot machine, go like this, scoop up my money, man. Scoop up the loot. And I did. I think I left. I think I went with 20. I think I left maybe with 60, something like that. Carl says no casinos here. I got one maybe 20-minute drive away. I only went that once. And once we drove up to Bar Harbor, which is in Maine, and took the ferry over to Nova Scotia, which was overnight. And they had a casino because they ferry lobstermen from the United States to Canada, Canada back to the United States. So they have stuff for them to do with their paychecks. So I always thought that was kind of dangerous. You know, you're out on the water for days at a time. You don't see your family. Then you're paid, and then you're put on a ferry to get back home with a bar and casino. Probably not good. So anyway, I spent the night doing the what did I just say? The slot machines. Let's see, and it says yes, 100%, Todd. And then again, going up in Canada, it's Sault Ste. Marie, in the Michigan-Canada border. They had some casinos. Oh, I've been to a handful of Native American casinos too, mainly for the free drinks and stuff like that. Evan says, I'm going there this weekend at Niagara Falls. It should be fun. What are you going to play, Evan? Yeah, you mentioned Niagara Falls. Was it yesterday, the day before? Some places like that. Grand Canyon, Niagara Falls, some of the vortex sites in Sedona. Being smack dab in the middle, driving across the painted desert in Arizona, are so overwhelming. I couldn't get too close to either Niagara Falls or the Grand Canyon because it felt too powerful. Like it would just it would disappear me. You been to Niagara Falls before, Evan? Carl says I can't go anywhere because of the weather. Yeah, we're finally getting rid of the snow, Carl. Evan says I play slots, then roulette. What is the object of roulette? You pick you got to pick a color and a number, right? Little ball goes round and round. Evan says I've been to Niagara Falls plenty of times. Cool. What do you think of the falls themselves? Sometimes I think we did Niagara Falls a disservice by putting so much stuff around it. Maybe we should have just kept it feeling sacred. Carl said the snow came from you, Yogi. I'm afraid so, Carl. I apologize. Had I known it was coming your way, I would have kept it. Hey, Kelly. Kelly says, hey, Yogi. Evan says, yeah, you're out your chips on what you think the ball will land on. So is it a number and color, or can it be one or the other? Cat says, you got snow, Carl? Pen free, Lady Sky. Evan says, Niagara Falls is amazing on New Year's, like a winter wonderland. Hey, has it ever frozen? Has Niagara Falls ever frozen before? You're probably thinking, well, how are we ever going to find out? I'm going to tell you how we're going to find out. I'm going to Google it. I typed has NANIA. First thing that came up. Has Niagara Falls ever frozen? What do you think? What's your guess? Todd says it has frozen ever. Carl says on the mountain. Anna says hi to Kelly. Guess as though it's still raining where you are, Carl. So, Niagara Falls has only completely frozen over once in recorded history. In March 1848, when a massive ice dam in Lake Erie halted the water flow for 30 hours, allowing people to walk across, I would not do that. Nope, not brave enough. Well, severe cold, such as in 1906, 1911, 34, 2014, and 2015, creates a stunning frozen appearance. It is actually just a thick layer of ice and frozen mist, ice bridge, covering the constantly flowing water. Interesting. A couple years ago, more than a couple years ago, I think I was just a kid, the Chesapeake Bay froze. We got a little waterfall not far from me. It's where if you look at my profile picture, it's called Cascade Falls, maybe 5 miles away. And it freezes. It's probably still frozen right now. So the Chesapeake Bay has frozen over completely multiple times in recorded history. Notable near freezes occurred during the winters of 1779 and 1780. I remember it well. 1980, don't remember that one. And famously, 1976, 1977, that's the one I was thinking of. Ice was thick enough for cars to be driven on parts of it. That's crazy. 1976, 1977 was the big freeze, known as the coldest winter in the region in over 50 years. Nearly 85 to 100% of the bay was covered in ice. That was 6 to 14 inches thick, with 2-foot thick ice on the eastern shore. Froze again in 2018, but not as total. Wasn't a total freeze. Crazy, guys. Evan says Niagara Falls has frozen in spots. I've seen it before, but moving water never freezes. Carl says I blame Yogi for the rain. Yeah, probably my fault. Carl Kat says, Carl, you had rain in Ireland before, Yogi, but not that specific rain. That specific rain completely on me. Kat says, "Am I wrong in remembering that Ireland is kind of known for the rain? I think it does rain a lot in Ireland. You know, hey, so up here, since we got Google, does it rain a lot in Ireland? What do you think? Does it rain a lot in Ireland? Yes. I'm going to wait for you guys to answer. It rains frequently in Ireland with roughly 150 to 225 days. Well, it's over half the year. Annually, depending on the location. Well, it does not usually rain heavily all day. Consistent drizzle and passing showers are common due to the Atlantic weather system. The West Coast is significantly wetter than the East Coast. I'm an East Coast guy myself, with mountainous regions receiving the highest total. Pretty cool. Carl says Google is wrong. Jeez. The source of my power, the source of all the information that I know. Completely wrong. That says, Carl, you need to come to the sunshine, my friend. Move to Florida. It is a sunshine state, right? That little beep that you heard was a guest for next week reaching out. He is flying back and forth from New York to Amsterdam? I forget. Oh, Brussels. Amsterdam, Brussels, right? Hey, Share Bear, how are you, my friend? It's nice to see you. But he's going to try to come up next week. This is Vincent Marie Raphael. He is a releasing coach, singer, songwriter, Course Miracle student, teacher, and a Reiki master. We have had several Reiki masters up, but we haven't really talked much about it. I should bring specifically a Reiki master up. I'll be honest with you. When I'm talking to great Course Miracle students, teachers, when I'm talking to someone who channels, when I'm talking to all the kind of guests that I've had up, Reiki doesn't seem to come up. Kat says hi to Share Bear. Carl says I'll move in to Tina because of Kat. Have a blessed day too, Share Bear. Kat says, Carl, remember when we were talking about having islands and who was going to be on our island? We should make sure the islands are tropical, lots of sunshine. You gotta let the sunshine in. Hey, Toy Pups, you still here hanging out? Who I would like to reach out to come up? Wouldn't mind some more shamans. Always enjoy talking to the shamans. And of course, I should bring up our great yogi friend Tom Thompson again. We're overdue. I would love for him to initiate anyone who wanted it into the Soham meditation. Carl says, I've lost too many subscribers. You'll gain it back, Carl. It's been a bit since you've been live, right? We are going to get in. We're going to log in 1 hour for this live stream. So that means about 19 minutes. I was going to see if Toy Pups felt like coming up and saying hi. Sherbert says, hi to Carl and hi to Kat. Kat says, I'm sorry, Carl. I think we have just got to keep moving on, my friend. Keep on moving. I agree. I agree. So I have not lost a great deal of subscribers, but I've lost a ton of views. Here's the weird thing. How can my watch time, my watch hours be up? Gives me that green and the thumbs up, the arrow up, but my views be down. That I don't fully understand. Shouldn't your views and your watch time hours be like equivalent? Carl says, I disagree. So does Tina. What does Tina think you should do? Same people watching more stuff? Same people watching more stuff. Or certain people watching more hours of your stuff? Could be. So as of now, I'm waiting for YouTube to catch on that I'm doing something different. I think YouTube is sort of I think if you're looking for overnight success, overnight sensation, YouTube, unless you're someone who's doing some kind of like shocking content or I don't know, larger than life personality type stuff, unless you're doing uh, pranks and stunts and cat videos, which are pretty awesome, by the way. Um, all of that stuff is awesome if that's what you do. I think YouTube is a longevity game. I think it takes a bit of time. Cat says, yes, sounds like core amount of people dig into more of your content. Carl says, Tina, Ali, and A-Frame know what I'm going to do. Kat says, and that's good. And she sent some love to Carl. So what I'm hoping seems to be happening. That the channel is getting some recognition in the Course in Miracles community. So when I have a guest like Tina Spalding come on, she reached out to her community, and I think the high number we had 80 people in the live stream. It settled down, and it was in the 60s for most of it. It might have dipped a little bit under, but I think it averaged 60s. It's still my highest viewed. We're getting close to 3K. Getting close. So it's heading in that direction. Views for that live stream. Lisa Natoli did the same thing. She sent it out on her mailing list, and like 50 or 60 people showed up. Got a bunch of new subscribers from that. So that's the plan. As far as guests, I'm not going to ever be exclusively Course in Miracles for guests. That's going to be the main function of my channel is yoga and Course in Miracles. To me, they're the same thing. Course in Miracles is a yoga of forgiveness. Course as yoga has never reached out to my community. I don't know about that. I'm friends with a lot of people in your community. And I say hi to everyone when I show up on your live streams. I have not met Tina, though. However, I do say hi to Allie. An A-frame pops in from time to time. I've been friends with Ivy for a long time, and Rich as well. Is really hoping to help Ivy get monetized a few years back, but she sort of had to put that objective to the side for a while. But should she ever decide that she wants to do that again, I'll be there for her. That's the same with anyone here. If your objective is to get monetized, let me know. I will do what I can. We'll push you out. We'll tell people to help you with watch hours. I will help you with watch hours. Carl says, I'll never be monetized. Is that something that you would like though, Carl? I'll tell you what, to make AdSense work for you is not easy. Cat says, I'm confused, Yogi. If everything I see is just an illusion and not real, but yet my pet will be waiting for me when I wake, how could the earth not be real when I see them both? Well, your pet, Jack, specifically, is you and Jack are one, right? Both you and Jack are thoughts of God. A thought of God does not exist within the dream world. When you wake, those thoughts still exist. We're in the mind of God, dreaming that we are here. When the dream is over, those thoughts of God still exist. Does that make sense, Kat? Hey, Princess, how are you? Carl said, goodbye, time for beer with the bus driver. Tell the bus driver I said hi. That would be a really good question for Gary Renard. Kat says, nope, I'm so a little confused because I think you froze for a minute. So, every loving thought is true. Everything else is an illusion. What is Jack? Jack is a loving thought from God. Cat is a loving thought from God. Everything existing within the mind of God. And yet, those thoughts are having their own little private dream, private and collective, of being in this world. Jack is an idea in the mind of God dreaming that he belongs to a pretty magnificent person named Cat. And when he wakes up, when Jack wakes up, he's going to be back in the mind of God, of which he is already, with the person that he loves most. Carl says, "You must be Cat's tent, Yogi." Okay, I'll take it. I'll be in Cat's tent. So all of our pets are aspects of the same mind of which we are an aspect of. It's the world itself, which is the dream. Thoughts existing within the same mind. Nine more minutes, guys, and then we're going to hang it up for the day. We did not make it with our guest. However, hopefully, the owner's going to be okay. Cat says, okay, but I mean, like the planet, it can't be the planet. Be a beautiful, loving thought in the mind of God? It could be. Hey, Davey. So they do talk about the real world, but remember, everything that is dreamed is a dream. And when we awaken, it's gone. Hey, Ashutosh, I do remember, my friend. Cypress says, how sure are you it's a planet? Me? I'm not. I'm certain of the dream, and I'm certain of waking of the dream. Other than that, Cat says, I'm rooting for the planet to be pure spirit, just like me. Well, when Gary's up, we can ask him, what do you mean by the disappearance of the universe? Anything that is perceived is part of the illusion. This body is an illusion. Jack, as a dog in a body, is an illusion. Jack is a loving spirit of God. Um, is there a possibility that the earth itself is a living, loving organism? Certainly, for sure. Except we know that the earth itself is also temporary, right? We know that it had a beginning, that it has an end. So we also know the earth can be threatened. Nothing unreal, nothing real, nothing unreal exists. Nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. How could I forget the most important line in the course? Um, so if the earth can be threatened, it can't be real. Is there a loving thought and essence of the earth? Could be. Could be. Don't know. Add that to the list of things I don't know. The plan, though, is to go through life with infinite patience, vast tenderness, loving kindness, and to keep forgiving and forgiving and forgiving. Everything else takes care of itself. When we wake, if we find that there is an earth, ethereal, loving, kind as well, of which we walk hand in hand, barefoot across, I'm cool with that. If we find that the earth, the universe completely disappears and that we are back home in the mind of God, infinite oneness, experiencing infinite oneness, I'm good with that too. Count, Ken would say it's a dream. It's a dream. He would say, be here, care for it, tend to it, but it's a dream. And never lose sight that it's a dream. Participate, cultivate, love it, but it's a dream. And when we wake up, anything that can be threatened is no longer here. Everything that is real is real. Tiny K is back. So Ken would say, nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Can the earth be threatened in any way? 3 Red Bulls. That's a lot of Red Bulls. Especially for someone whose name is Tiny K. That means, man, all that caffeine. Ken says, and if you won't know Ken, where would I go to start to meet Ken myself? Same place I went. I was so immersed in reading and listening to Ken that spontaneously appeared, even when I didn't have a question, but when I had concerns, when I was mulling things over, his voice would pop and say, you know what you're doing. Cause and effect, cause and effect. We could say that the earth is an effect. The effect itself isn't real. What's real is the cause. Tiny K says, so now I'm literally buzzing with energy. I bet. Says Sky Sky. Lady Sky says, hi to Tiny K. And how are you, Tiny KK? Just a couple minutes, guys. I'm going to do my late afternoon meditation. Again, we'll be live again. Hey, Leo. What's up, brother? Wishing you a great day. You too, Leo. What's new in the burpee world, my friend? What kind of crazy stuff are you all doing? Hey, Stink Bug. Lady Scott says hi to Leo. And a Stink Bug. What's new with you, Stink Bug? Ken says, if someone wanted to start to get to know Ken, where would you say start, Yogi? If you answered already, I'm sorry, I missed it. I did answer. All I can tell you is what happened with me. I was so immersed in Ken's teachings, all of his books. I'd spent years listening to some tapes that I had, living A Course in Miracles. I wish I still had those. And of course, I don't have anything to listen to them on, as well as watching YouTube clips that his voice just spontaneously came. Not seeking him out. Sigmund says, I'm alive. Leo says, been focused on my streak and my work, brother. 12-hour shifts. Got a promotion. Good for you. Congratulations. All looking good. Just long days. Haven't really kept up with anyone or anything other than my own grind. Sometimes you just got to put our heads down and get it done, Leo. And that's the important thing. You still got that streak going. I think in the end, Leo's going to be standing. There's only going to be one streaker left. My money's on Leo. Do I suggest a book for you? Man, he's got great little pamphlets from his talks. I love them because I could read one in a day or two, and then pick up another and read it in a day or two. Listening to him on YouTube is wonderful because you get the warmth of his voice. Jesus and Forgiveness. This is one of his books that's not based upon a workshop. All his little books are based upon workshops. I think that might be his classic, Jesus and Forgiveness, where A Course in Miracles and Christianity meet. And I think you get the essence of Ken when you read Gary Renard. But yeah, excuse me, guys. I would pull him up on YouTube and just immerse myself in listening to Ken. And of course, now I've been blessed to talk to people who have talked to Ken. Sometimes when I'm talking to Dove Fishman, it feels like Ken is coming through. Ken says, "Thank you. You're welcome." All right, guys, we hit our hour. We hit our hour. I think I'm gonna wrap it up and get in my meditation. Get ready to go live again. Set up the stream. Maybe make a short and post it. And I need to reach out to Deona and Julie and see if they're still coming up. If not, we'll do what we did now. We'll just hang out. We'll have a good time. Tomorrow, Lloyd and Stephanie making their second appearance. They become great friends, guys. Been able to talk back and forth with them, Messenger. Next holiday, we're still counting down to spring too, right? Don't forget President's Day. That's coming up. President's Day, spring, St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day. What else? A couple people have some birthdays coming up. We'll start counting those down too. How many days until your birthday, Lady Sky? 35 days until spring. Not long at all. And it's starting to feel like spring outside. Sinkbook says, "Hope you well, Miss Cat." Sherbert says, "Have a blessed day, everyone, and happy Valentine's Day." Happy Valentine's Day to you, Sherbert. Thank you. All right. Love you all. I'll see you tonight. Come on by, hang out with me.